Welcome back in the physics class. In the previous lecture, I have discussed the elastic collision in one dimension, and today I am going to discuss the collision in two dimensions, that is the oblique collision. What about the oblique collision? The when one object is striking to the another object, and after striking to the another object, the angle changes, and how these angles changes, how the objects are moving, and how we can calculate the known and unknown parameter by using these equations, that let us study in the collision in two dimensions. Suppose the particle of mass m1 is moving with velocity u1 along the positive x-axis, and this second object m2 is at rest, that is here u2 is 0. When first object is approaching to the second object, it will impart some momentum to the second object, and when it is imparting the momentum to the second object, what will happen? They both get affected, and the first object, that we assume that the first object is moving along the angle theta with the x-axis theta 1, and the second object is moving like this at an angle theta 2. This is the velocity after collision, that is v1. The object is moving along this direction, and the second object is having velocity v2 along this direction. Okay, now these are not along the x-axis or y-axis. This is also not along the x-axis and y-axis. So we resolve the component of velocity along x and y-axis. So this angle is also theta 1, and if this angle is theta 2, this angle will also be theta 2, because this and this line are parallel to each other, and this line intersect these two parallel lines. So these two angles are equal. So by resolving the component, the angle theta is along this axis, hence this will be the horizontal component. This is v2 cos theta 2, and this along the vertical line, the velocity will be v2 sin theta 2. And for this body, this theta is angle is with this line, so this component will be v1 cos theta 1, the horizontal component, and this component will be v1 sin theta 1, the vertical component. Now you can calculate the total momentum of these two bodies along the x-axis and along y-axis. This is visible to you that this v1 cos theta 1 and v2 cos theta 1 both are along the positive x-axis, and the momentum will be here, momentum along x-axis will be m1 v1 cos theta 1, and here this will be m2 v2 cos theta 2. But if we talk about the y-axis, this v1 sin theta 1 is along the positive y-axis, and this v2 sin theta 2 is along the negative y-axis. So this is having the opposite sign as that of the first body. The momentum of first body will be m1 v1 sin theta 1 along the positive y-axis, and m2 v2 sin theta 2 along the negative y-axis. This is about the momentum after collision. And what about the kinetic energy after collision? The kinetic energy will be the same component. The object is moving in this direction, so the velocity will be v1 only, and the kinetic energy will half m1 v1 square. Here the kinetic energy will be half m2 v2 square. Now comes to the point before collision. Before collision, this object is moving, but only along the x-axis. There is no motion along y-axis. That's why its momentum along x-axis is m1 u1. This is at rest, so its momentum is 0. It is no momentum is there along x-axis or y-axis. Now what about the kinetic energy? The kinetic energy will be half m1 u1 square, and its kinetic energy is 0. As we have done the equations in the collision in one dimension, we follow the same rule by the conservation of linear momentum along x-axis. So according to the conservation law, the linear momentum before collision, that is m1 u1 plus 0, this is equal to the momentum after collision, and after collision there are two types of momentum, one along the x-axis and another along the y-axis. So if we talk about the x-axis term, before collision, after collision, m1 v1 cos theta 1 and m2 v2 cos theta 2. Now about the y-axis, there is no momentum before collision along the y-axis, that's why it is 0, and along y-axis the velocity is v1 sin theta 1, so momentum is m1 v1 sin theta 1. This is along the negative y-axis, that's why the minus sign is taken here, m2 v2 sin theta 2. This is along the y-axis. And now the conservation of kinetic energy. As I have told you, this is at rest, no kinetic energy, and for this half m1 u1 square, and after collision the velocities are half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square, having this much kinetic energy. You have now three equations, equation 1, equation 2 and equation 3, but parameters are more, that is v1, v2, theta 1, theta 2, u1. So many parameters cannot be calculated by three equations. So more equations are required and we are not having any such kind of equation. So keeping the one or two parameter known, then other unknown parameters can be calculated. It means by using three equations, you can calculate only three parameters. For the simplicity, to make it simpler, let us assume that theta 1 angle is approximately 0. It means the object is approximately moving here. If you put it theta 1 0 and theta 2 is 90 degree, then our parameters, unknown parameters are reduced, that is u1, v1 and v2. So we can calculate these parameters by knowing the known parameters, and we can calculate unknown parameters. This is all about the elastic collision in two dimensions. Now let us discuss some more numericals. First, you note it down. Now the next term is the coefficient of restitution, and what is its significance. The coefficient of restitution is denoted by small e, and this coefficient is having no units because it is the ratio of two similar quantities, where this v1 minus v2, the difference in the final velocities, it means the velocities of separation, and these are the initial velocities when the objects are approaching to each other. This is the velocity of approach and this is known as the velocity of separation. So what is the coefficient of restitution? The coefficient of restitution is the ratio of velocity of separation to the velocity of approach, or you can say the velocities after collision and the velocities before collision. This ratio is equal to the coefficient of restitution, and this coefficient of restitution gives us the degree of the restitution, the degree of the collision, which kind of collision is this. So by using this formula, you are using here the magnitude, v1 may be greater than v2 or u1 may be greater than u2. So you can also have this term with the minus sign depending on the values of v1, v2 and u1, u2. This value of E is the material dependent. This is different for different materials. If we talk about the glass balls, the coefficient of restitution is 0.95, and if we talk about the lead balls, the coefficient of restitution is 0.20. This is very small. And what is the significance of this coefficient of restitution? By having the knowledge of coefficient of restitution, we can find out the type of collision. If the value of E comes out to be 1 after calculation, it means this is the perfectly elastic collision. Why? Because E is 1, then v1 minus v2 is equal to u1 minus u2. Both the values are equal. It means the velocity of approach before collision is equal to the velocity of separation after collision, and this kind of collision having E is equal to 1 comes in the category of elastic collision. And now if the value of E is lying between 0 to 1, it is greater than 0 and less than 1. This kind of value, if it is having, this collision is known as inelastic collision. Putting the value of E as less than 1, what you are getting? This result, this V1 minus V2, this is on the right hand side, this V1 minus V2 result is less than the U1 minus U2 result. It means the velocity of separation after collision is less than the velocity of approach before collision, and this kind of collision comes out in the category of inelastic collision. Next, if E is equal to 0, if E is equal to 0 and you put the value 0 here, it means this term becomes 0 and you have V1 minus V2 equal to 0. If V1 minus V2 equal to 0, it means both the objects V1 and V2 are moving with the same velocities, and this kind of collision is under the category of perfectly inelastic collision. And the last one is if the value of E is greater than 1. If this value is greater than 1, it means V1 minus V2 is greater than 1. If this is greater than 1, it means the velocity after collision increases, and hence which results in the increase in kinetic energy of the object, and this kind of collision is known as superelastic collision. So this is the significance of coefficient of restitution. On the basis of coefficient of restitution, we can identify, we can determine which kind of collision is this. You have to learn the value of E for different kind of collision to explain it. This is the important question for your examination point of view. Note down this question. Let us solve one numerical on the basis of collision. A ball of 10 kilogram and 20 kilogram approaches each other. It means one ball is moving in this direction and second ball is moving in the opposite direction with the velocities 20 meter per second and 10 meter per second. This is having velocity 20 meter per second and this is 10. It means minus 10 meter per second. Find the velocities after collision. It means u1 is given to you, u1 is 20 meter per second, u2 is minus 10 meter per second, and you have to find v1 and v2. So write down the parameters given to you. m1 10 kilogram, m2 is 20 kilogram, velocity u1 is 20 and u2 is minus 10, and you have the formula for the velocity after collision we have calculated during the derivation. This is for the first object and this value of velocity is for the second object. You have to learn this formula, write the formula and put all the parameters m1, m2, u1, u2 in this equation, and after solving the result you get minus 20 meter per second. It means the velocity of first object was 20 meter per second and after collision its velocity gets interchanged and that is in the opposite direction. For V2 the value is 2 m1 by m1 plus m2 into u1 plus m2 minus m1 divided by m1 plus m2 into u2. Put all these values. After putting these values you have the velocity v1. It means this object which was moving in this direction, that object will also change its direction and will start moving in the reverse direction of its initial position. So write down the values of v1. v1 is minus 20 meter per second and v2 is 10 meter per second. It means the velocities after collision gets interchanged. Velocity after collision gets interchanged and changes direction. not interchanged gets reversed. ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में हो जाएंगी, वेलोसिटीज की डायरेक्शन चेंज हो जाएगी. नोट दिस क्वेश्चन.